If you want to flatten your post-meal blood sugar spikes, not just eventually, but right now, in real time, you need to understand something most people miss. What you do in the first 15 to 30 minutes after eating dramatically changes how your body handles glucose. This has nothing to do with extreme eating or supplements. It's about understanding how your body functions and applying it properly. Today, I'm going to walk through 3 movement-based strategies that have been put to the test in randomized controlled trials and have shown immediate effects on post-meal glucose, even when eating carbohydrates. This is especially powerful if you struggle with blood sugar spikes after meals or stubborn fasting numbers. Let's dive in. Number 1, walk after eating. But when matters more than how much. You've probably heard that a walk after meals can help with blood sugar. But the science tells us something even more specific. It's timing that makes the magic happen. In a real-world randomized study, researchers compared 2 exercise routines in people with type 2 diabetes. One group walked briskly for 15 minutes after each meal, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. The other group did a single 45-minute walk before breakfast each day. Same total volume of activity, but very different results. The people who did the 3 short post-meal walks had significantly lower blood sugar throughout the day, including before meals, after meals, and even at bedtime, compared to the group that only walked once in the morning. Their A1C, a measure of average glucose over 3 months, also dropped more. That's not a one-off blip. That's sustained improvement in how the body handles glucose over time. So what happened here? When you walk soon after eating, your contracting muscles pull glucose out of your bloodstream very efficiently, even when insulin isn't working well, because muscle contraction triggers glucose uptake through a completely different mechanism than insulin signaling. This is called contraction-mediated glucose uptake, and it turns your muscles into glucose vacuums just when they're needed most. If you let blood sugar rise first and then try to burn it off later, you're less effective. But if you move when levels are peaking right after your meal, you prevent that big spike altogether. Here's what I want you to do. After lunch and dinner, go for a brisk 10 to 15 minute walk. No crazy pace, no gym, just move your legs, get the blood flowing, and activate those muscles. That's enough to turn diabetes physiology in your favor. Number 2, soleus push-ups, a sitting movement that lowers blood sugar. Now, here's a strategy that blows many people's minds because it works even while you're sitting. Researchers conducted a pilot study in people with prediabetes using a very simple movement called the soleus push-up, repeated heel raises while seated. Participants did a standard oral glucose tolerance test, which normally raises blood sugar, once while sitting still and once while performing soleus push-ups throughout the test. The result? Blood sugar excursions dropped by about 32% when they did the soleus push-ups compared to sitting still. That's a dramatic reduction, and it happened without changing diet or medication. What's going on here? The soleus muscle is a deep calf muscle made mostly of slow twitch fibers, the kind of fibers that are excellent at burning glucose steadily and sustainably. These fibers don't need high intensity to work. They just need continuous activation. When you lift and lower your heels repeatedly while seated, you activate this muscle enough to pull a significant amount of glucose out of circulation. And because it doesn't rely on insulin, it works even when insulin sensitivity is impaired. Here's how you can use this right now. Sit tall, feet on the floor, toes down. Lift your heels up and down in a steady rhythm. You can do this while you work at your desk, watch TV, sit on a plane, ride public transit. It's a low impact way to keep glucose moving even when you can't take a walk. Now, here's the thing. This movement is a powerful blood sugar hack, but there's one caveat most people miss. In the actual study, participants did these push-ups continuously for 120 minutes. That's 2 full hours of constant heel raises. In my opinion, it's worth training your body to do these mindlessly while you are sitting down. Number 3, the stair climbing trick. Fast, short, and effective. And now for the strategy that gives you huge leverage with very little time investment. A recent randomized controlled crossover trial looked at stair climbing and descending immediately after eating a mixed meal, one that contained carbs, protein, and fat. Participants performed stair climbing for 0, 1, 3, or 10 minutes at a comfortable pace. Even 1 minute of stair climbing reduced post-meal blood sugar and insulin. But here's the real kicker. 3 minutes not only lowered glucose more, it also improved insulin sensitivity, which means your body gets better at clearing glucose after a meal. Why does this work so well? Because stair climbing isn't just walking, it's activating large muscle groups all at once. Quads, glutes, calves, everything your lower body has to offer. When big muscles activate together right after a meal, they create a strong glucose pull into muscle cells, drastically reducing the amount of sugar lingering in the bloodstream. This is not about intensity or getting out of breath. It's about timing and muscle recruitment. So right after a meal, literally in the 0 to 5 minute window, do 1 to 3 minutes of slow, steady stair climbing up and down. That's all it takes to change the biology of glucose disposal in that crucial post-meal period. Now, let's put it all together. Here's the takeaway, and this is where most people get stuck. It's not that carbs are the enemy. It's not that you need to starve yourself. It's that your body needs the right signals at the right time to handle glucose properly. Movement is one of the strongest of those signals because it leverages insulin-independent glucose uptake and improves muscle glucose disposal when it matters most, immediately after eating. So here's what I want you to start doing after meals. Walk for 10 to 15 minutes. If you can't walk, do soleus push-ups while seated. If you have stairs, do 1 to 3 minutes of stair climbing. These actions are simple, but they are profoundly effective because they change what happens biologically after you eat. And when you combine this with high fiber, low fat, whole food, plant-based meals, you start bringing down spikes and improving insulin sensitivity over time, not just in a week or a month, but every single meal. Comment guide below and we'll send you our recipes that improve insulin sensitivity and lower blood sugar. Pair them up with movement and your blood sugar will be in a much better place within weeks. If this video helped you, hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and share it with someone who's ready to improve their blood sugar. Until next time, keep those carbs high and that A1C low.